How's it going, guys? This is Firefox again here, and we're back! By popular demand, we've been asked a lot to start up the cooking vlog again, and so here it is. So, it's gonna be a little bit different than before. Like, I'm still gonna take suggestions on recipes and everything like that, but the recipes are probably not going to be that I do on my own are probably not going to be coming from anywhere specific. I might take some inspiration from other places, but there's not going to be any specific recipe that I'm going to be following. So yeah, we're just going to go by the seat of our pants, and hopefully everything kind of works out. Because what I've actually been, what the whole point of this channel was to be part of a documentary of my own concoctions and stuff like that, so that I can, so if they're good, then I can redo them. But what's been happening is I've been doing other people's recipes. So yeah, and hopefully this will actually make it a little bit easier for me too, because then I can just pull out the camera and record whatever I'm making for the night. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Wait, oh, actually, sorry, forgot. We're making stir fry tonight. So, yeah, that's all that I can tell you right now, because I haven't actually planned out the stir fry yet. So, without further ado, let's get cooking. So, what we've got here is just the wok with about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and that's heating up at full temperature, like on high, so that we can actually get some heat going on here, because you want the oil to actually cook, or to start cooking first and get up to heat, or get up to temperature before you actually put anything into it, because that's the thing. But we are not going to be cooking on high. I'm just having that there so that it heats up faster. What we are going to be using:
soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
Turmeric.
Some turmeric, yes. So, yeah, while we're doing that, I'm gonna go and cut up the chicken, because this is gonna take a little bit longer. I might actually turn it down just a little bit so that I have a little bit of time to actually cut up the chicken. But we need some garlic. The 2 main ingredients are going to be, for the most part, is going to be sriracha, or soy sauce, and turmeric. So I got Clubhouse turmeric. Not sponsored. We're not sponsored by anybody. We suck. Oh, we need onions. No, onions. We don't have any mushrooms, do we? So while we're waiting for our pan to heat up, which is actually already heated up, so that was probably a bad idea on my part. This is probably a better idea to actually do. Oh my goodness! I remember. I forgot. I just sharpened this. Always use a nice sharp knife. And if you're doing this without your parents, please don't. That's not a great idea, because sharp knives can slice through your fingers in about 5 seconds, and you won't even notice until it starts gushing blood. But this is how I normally do my onions. I chop off the front and the end, and then I just take off the first whole layer of the onion. So you do a nice little slit there, and then you just rip off that whole thing. But what I'm gonna do is actually only use half of that, because I don't like onions as well as most people. If you want to use a whole onion, go for it. What?
Can I cut it?
No, I just sharpened this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slice this up real nice and fine, and then I'm going to throw this into the hot oil, which I've turned down now, so it shouldn't be so hot. A really nice sharp knife makes this job go by so much easier, and you don't ruin the onion as much, and then it doesn't spray all over the place and get in your eyes and make you cry. So that's the one nice thing about having. Actually, I'm going to move this off just a second so that I have more space, so I don't accidentally slice myself. And I do it really nice and fine, because what I'm using this for is basically just for flavor, not not to have actual like chunks of onion in my food. I use it just for flavor, and I'll show you exactly what I do with it, because that is the key to a lot of my flavors, or a lot of my recipes, is having the onions cooked just right before you use them. All right, yeah, we're kind of doing this late, which is the reason why we ended up. Yeah, still got a little bit in my eyes, but that's not a problem. Okay, and you just take all that, throw it straight into the pan. You should hear that. You should hear that sizzle. If you don't hear that sizzle, then your pan is not hot enough. What kind of onions are we actually using? I'm using a wooden spoon as well, just because it's a lot easier. Doesn't mess up your pan. Sweet onions. They're sweet white onions. I always find that they taste better. Spanish onions work just as well too.
We like using those better.
But if you notice how they're getting nice and brown, hopefully that's showing up on the camera nicely. That is how you want them. But I should have my garlic in here already too.
Sorry.
But onion and garlic work really, really well together. If you want, you're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to it. Just a little bit of salt and pepper. There's a little bit of pepper. That's about 1/8 of a teaspoon of each. Just throw in a little bit there. 1/8 of a teaspoon each. Stir that in. Make that all nice and happy dappy. The salt's gonna help kind of clean up some of the excess juices, and the pepper just kind of gives it that nice kind of like bite, a little bit of spice, not too much spice though. So I have this stuff. It's minced California garlic. It's marinated, and I don't use a ton of it. Like that's what I use, but it's Kirkland, so it's not huge. You have to also always remember, I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. This is the stuff that I use on a regular basis. About a teaspoon. That's about as much as you need. Just throw that straight in. Make sure to mix it up real nice.
That was bad. Yep.
Yeah. Here, you take that for a second. Thank you.
Oh wait, do you need just one?
Mix that in. What? Yeah. And then what you're doing is you're just waiting until all of the onions are nice and cooked or brown. What you're waiting for is just the onions to be all nice and golden brown, because it softens up the onions and basically turns them into just more of a seasoning than an actual like staple of the meal, which is exactly how I like them. I like the flavor of the onions. I don't like the crunch. That crunchy makes it taste like you're eating bugs. Don't like it. All right, but I wish you guys could smell this, because already it smells amazing. Oh, okay. Let that stir a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this over to Elizabeth and make sure that she gets that all sorted out, and then I will cut up the chicken, and I'm going to take you guys with me back over here. So I got about 5 pieces of chicken. What we need to do with these is chop them up so that they are nice little cubes. So I'm gonna take this chicken. I'm not even gonna really worry about cutting it up or cutting off all the little chunky bits and whatnot. I'm just gonna slice them up into sections like this, and then that's about the size that you want right there. It's about a 1/4 of a palm size. So the rest of these are probably gonna get cut into 2s or 3s. So that one's a little bit big, so I can cut it into 3. And you want them to be about the same size, because otherwise they're not going to cook properly. So that's 1. My suggestion is that you get this done first. I'm going to cut this piece off because that's just all fat. That's gross.
We do all the time, Dad.
You should always have the meat done first. So always try and get your meat finished first, and then you can worry about all the rest of the stuff, because the meat can sit out for a little bit, like while you're waiting for the the pan to warm up. But the pan, once it's warmed up, has to get used almost immediately, or you're gonna start burning your pan. That's not a good thing. So, chop that like that. Cut this into threes. Cut that one into threes as well. There we go. All right. So those are all done. Now that that's all done, that looks pretty good the way that that is.
Oh,
Yeah. So now that all the onions are nice and brown, they're almost on the verge of burning, but not quite. That's pretty much exactly where you want them. You don't want to see any black, you just want to see dark brown, nice dark golden brown all inside of there. Once that's done, you can take your chicken, toss the whole thing in there. You can still hear that nice sizzle. That nice sizzle is what you're trying to go for. And now I'm all done with that. What you want to do, and sometimes at this point you might want to add in a little bit more oil, just to help with the searing process, because you're not really trying to cook per se the chicken at this point. You're just trying to sear the outside so that it keeps all the juices on the inside, but not dry out the meat. So right now we're just trying to sear it. So the outside kind of goes white, but the inside's still kind of pink. And we're getting to that point pretty well right now. This is what I was talking about with the whole, it's probably going to be very meaty. Oh, but that smells really, really, really good. Okay, we use frozen veggies because we don't cook enough with raw veggies, or else I would keep raw veggies in the house. But we also have a tiny fridge, so the fridge is not it's not big enough to hold. We got a huge freezer, tiny fridge. So we keep mainly just condiments in our fridge and leftovers. I'm gonna wash my hands so that I don't get chicken gut all over the rest of my seasonings. So we've already got we've got our onions, we've got our garlic, and we've got our salt and pepper in there. So next thing that you want to be throwing in is some liquids, or else you're going to start burning things, and you don't want to be burning stuff. So you add in the liquids to kind of keep everything floating and not so much burning on the bottom. Also, stir fry is supposed to be a healthy alternative to a bunch of stuff. Plus, it's way easier to cook if you have a really short amount of time to do stuff. So I'm gonna throw in a little bit of sriracha just for flavor and a little bit of spice. This sriracha is actually jalapeno puree basically. So I'm gonna throw in a little bit of that, about a teaspoon, maybe a half teaspoon of that. Just mix that in. I like my stuff a little bit spicy. Plus, it gives you that kind of like weird tomato-y flavor. It's kind of nice. It's almost like a tomato-y flavor, but it's not.
The turmeric in it?
No, I haven't put the turmeric in yet. We also
My
want
eyes
to
are still
add
burning.
a little bit of turmeric, probably about a teaspoon of turmeric, just to add in. There we go. A little bit of Asian flavor. That's pretty much, if you get like a curry or something like that. Turmeric is the yellow flavor that you get inside of that. It makes everything yellow. Holy crap! Yes,
It
it
makes
does.
your nails.
Oh yeah, it'll make everything yellow. I use that a lot in my curries to flavor it. But it has like a weird, almost sweet bitterness to it. It's really nice. Our soy sauce, throw that in. Probably about a tablespoon of that, maybe 2, depending on how much you want to put in there.
Maybe 2.5. I mean 1.5.
No, 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. It's really good. It gives you that nice little thing. I also need some lemon juice and some paprika, please. This is actually turning out to be more of my my curry chicken style. About a tablespoon of lemon juice. Make sure, if you don't use lemon juice very often, you need to make sure that you shake it before you use it. Throw that in, about a tablespoon of that. And all of this is to taste as well, so it's not really that big of a deal whether or not you get a ton of it or if you put a little bit too much in. If it tastes good by the end of it, or if it smells really good as you're cooking it, that's usually how I cook, is by smell. If it smells like I want it to, then it's working out. It's working well. Paprika, throw in a little bit. If you have the spicy paprika, then you don't technically need to use the sriracha. I don't know which one this is because it won't tell me, but it does make for a very, very good flavor. We'll see how this turns out. I might need a little bit of oregano. Actually, some parsley would be great. Yeah, and I might actually throw in a little bit of honey as well, just to give it a little bit of sweetness. What, parsley? Sure. What you're looking for is about a teaspoon of parsley. Teaspoon of parsley, basically just enough to kind of like to lightly dust the top of it. About a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of parsley. And I am going to add in a little bit of honey just to kind of dull the really strong, to dull the strong like bitterness. I might have to warm this up. If your honey ever goes hard like that, just throw it in the microwave for about 30 seconds and you're good. You just keep simmering this. I've turned it down to medium. I turned it down to a medium a while ago while I was cutting up the chicken, so it's been sitting on medium for pretty much this entire time. Like I said, when I turn it up high, it's to heat it up a lot faster, and then as soon as I'm ready to put stuff in, you have to turn it down, or else you're gonna burn everything. And always make sure to move it around. Make sure to move it around all the time, so that shaking it up, shake it up, just shake it up.
And that was Shake It Off.
And
Not Shake It Up. It's Shake
no,
It
that's an
Off.
older song. Not Shake It Off. Shake It Off is freaking Taylor Swift. The one that I was singing was like an older song. That was probably about
Our teacher,
2 tablespoons?
She
2-3 tablespoons ish. And there you go. That's what you want to see, is that nice like thick sauce at the bottom, but a decent amount of it, because you have to remember you're putting this over rice or noodles or whatever you want to put over.
Should we start making the noodles?
What we actually need to do is actually put the veggies in. We're not putting this over noodles. We're putting it over rice.
No, I mean, I said rice.
No, you said noodles.
I meant
Should we play it back?
rice.
Let's play it back. You want to put
Should we
over.
start making the noodles? Making the noodles.
You said noodles. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just like let this sit and do that for a little bit. I'm gonna taste it real quick.
Can I taste it?
It's a little bit. It's a little sweet, but that actually might work out well.
That.
What do you think? Give it a shot. It's sweet and spicy. It's got a kick at the end. Oh goodness.
It's not that sweet.
You're getting the wrong spot then, obviously. Now,
Put the big.
to cool it down a little bit more so that it actually it has to cook a little bit longer to make sure that all the chicken gets cooked properly. We're gonna add in the frozen veggies, which actually I like. That's one of the reasons why I like using frozen veggies, is because it actually cools down the whole mix
Process.
just before the end, so that you can cook it and you can simmer it a little bit longer. So I usually use probably about 2 handfuls.
That is
It's
a lot of
about,
cauliflower.
It's about 3 cups, 2 cups. But again, you can add as many as you want. It's not that big of a deal. There we go. It's about 2 cups.
Typically have it stir fry
2 cups.
without
Without veggies?
yeah.
Yeah, you
No,
can
I mean like without meat.
What? Without meat? Yeah. Yeah, sure. People use chickpeas instead all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Chickpeas or tofu.
Everybody
Oh,
says
piece
it
of
tastes
chicken.
gross.
That's a piece of chicken. Yes, tofu is
I'm
not
not sure
good.
if I want to eat this.
It was on the floor, so technically you probably shouldn't. Notice how it calmed down, it cooled, it quieted down. That's not as cooked as it should be. So,
I'm eating it.
if you want to get sick tomorrow, go ahead. All right, don't ever eat friggin' raw chicken, people. It's not great.
We actually
But yeah.
did because my stupid.
No, it wasn't raw. It was just way overdue.
Excuse me. But
Okay, so that
Ow.
is pretty much going to be your end all of your
and all y'all.
of your seasoning there. So that is good. That's really nice.
Oh, it's time to make some rice now.
Yes.
I said rice.
Rice. Yes, you said rice this time. Finally. What I actually might do is just add in about a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, just for a little bit of an added sweetness. There we go. Perfect.
Do we use this one?
Give it a little bit of an added sweetness and a little bit of added like
You
it's basically a little bit of a sweet and sour kind of style. So there we go. The vinegar is going to kind of burn off a little bit once we start simmering this. And now that it's cooled down a little bit, what you want to do is make sure that everything is all nice and covered with your sauce, and then flatten it out a little bit and throw on the lid and leave it for a little while. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Actually, I'm going to turn down the temperature to about a mid-medium to a low-medium. On mine, it's about there. So that's about where I put it. It's about 4.5. And that's going to sit and fry up all that once I fry my lid, which is over there. And just let that sit and simmer until the rice is ready. So, to do the rice, I've actually learned how to do rice properly, or at least get some really nice, more or less sticky rice. What we're using is jasmine rice. It's jasmine long grain rice, long grain white rice, naturally fragrant, and we're going
Best
to do
tasting rice in the world, and it feels weird.
one of. What we're going to do is we're going to use about 1/2 cup of rice. That's about, what is it, 350 milliliters, or what is it, 350 grams. Just throw that straight in there. Throw that straight in there. And for every cup of rice, you want to add 1.5 cups of water. So, how much water are we adding? So, for 1.5 cups, we're going to add 1 cup, for sure. Or 1.5 cups.
And then 1?
1.5 cups, and then
1?
for 1/2 cup, you do 1 plus 1/2, right? So it'd be 3/4 of a cup.
Oh.
It's about 150 milliliters. So in total, you're looking at about 500 milliliters. 500 milliliters or 2 cups. Yes? No, that's not right. It'd be 2 and 1/4 cup.
You got it.
It's 2 and 1/4 cup of water for 1.5 cups of rice.
Don't we
So,
put the lid on?
no, not yet. Wait, we also have to turn it on. So
Our lid is also broken, so we have to.
we have to turn it on full, turn it on max. Now that the rice is in there and the water's in there, we've got enough water. We've probably figured it out. Our lid's broken. This right here is my secret, right there. Secret rest, my secret to good rice. Coconut oil. So do about a tablespoon of coconut oil in with everything.
Daddy does coconut oil with everything.
With pretty much everything. Well, no, I've got specific things to. If I use coconut oil for everything, then we wouldn't have that much coconut oil left. No, I use the olive oil. Yes, if you want to deep fry everything in your house, use coconut oil. It'll add a little bit of a natural sweetness to everything, and it's actually good for you. You can eat straight out of the container. You can also put it on your skin as a moisturizer. You can use it in your hair as a conditioner.
You can put it on your face.
Yeah, moisturizer.
Oh, you said put it on your face.
Yeah, skin. What's on your face?
My eyeballs, my nose,
Really?
my mouth,
So, yeah, and there you go.
and my glasses.
Once that starts boiling, we can put on the lid and turn down the temperature to the minimum setting, or just above the minimum setting. I think I usually put it to 3, or just below 3, which is the way that I usually do it, and then it comes out perfectly in about 15 to 18 minutes.
But every time Daddy brings it to me,
Yeah, you somehow mess it up. I still don't understand. It's like perfect. This is perfect. So everything's all sorted out. We've got our pan or our stuff here, just simmering away. That's nice. Oh, and it smells delicious. And we have our rice, just waiting to be boiled. The one reason why I use coconut oil is because it sticks to things a lot better, and it melts a lot faster. So that's really a key point. But once all that melts and that starts boiling, you're going to turn it down. So you turn this down to pretty much right here-ish. So just above minimum, like low setting. And then you put the cover over it and you let it sit for about, what did I say? About 15 to 18 minutes. So double check it. Set up a timer for about 15 minutes. Check it. It's also one of the reasons why, if you're going to do it on the stove, I suggest that you use a lid that you can see through. See through.
But we
Look, you can see Elizabeth. Ah. There you go. Okay, but yeah, use one that you can see through so that you can tell whether or not there's a lot of water or if there's no water at all.
Well, we
if you can't see the water,
straight on.
what? Yeah, you can. I do it all the time.
This one, though.
Yes, you can. I do it all the time. But we're gonna be back as soon as we finish, or this all sets up. So that's probably gonna be about 15 to 20 minutes from now. So
Rewind and check.
yeah, we'll be back. Flash forward. Elizabeth just said something that I actually you guys should probably figure out too. When you are done with the rice, when your rice is ready to go and it's boiling, right? Stir it to make sure that it's not stuck to the bottom already before you turn it down, or right after you turn it down, and before you put it on the before you put the lid on. Make sure that you stir it so that it's not stuck to the bottom, or you make sure that it's not stuck to the bottom, and then turn it down to the minimum. See, minimum there, and then you put the lid on. Put the lid on. Yes, the lid is on. Put it all the way on. You need to have the lid all the way on if you're going to use there, so that it stays in. All the heat and the water stays in. That's
Not
what you want.
all of it.
Yes, I know, because there's a little hole at the top right there. See it? Right there. See that hole?
And it starts
Looks like a little
buzzing.
button. It's actually a hole. But anyways, that is the last of the rice. That's the last of the bit of the rice stuff. So, flash forward. Okay, we're back because our rice is actually done. It was 15 minutes exactly. So that actually worked out really well. Let's actually, you guys want to see. The world is ending! Ah, nevermore! We took it off. That's our rice. It's nice and fluffy and perfect. It's one of the reasons why I like the jasmine rice as well. And let's go take a look at what we've got under here. Whoa! A lot of smoke! Gee, or steam. Yeah, oh baby. And it smells really good. It looks delicious. We're gonna give it a little bit of a stir. And then that should be it. Give it a little taste. That is going to be good. But the one thing that you can do is either have the rice and the actual stir fry stuff. Actually, I should turn that off. You can have the rice and the stir fry separate, or you can actually take the rice and put it directly into the stir fry, which I might do because it is a little bit spicy. So let's do that now. All right, so we got the rice and we got our stuff, and all you want to do is just take all the rice and put it directly into the stuff, just like that. Scrape the bottom if you want to. Don't scrape the bottom if the bottom stuff is actually burnt to the bottom. But because I put in the coconut oil, all the bottom stuff is just kind of sticky. It's not fun. And then you just mix it in until everything is about the same color. Alright, and there you go. That's all of it done. Completely. So, you can take it off your thing, put it on the... Hey! Out of my kitchen! Out!
Cat.
Okay. I'm gonna take that off of the heat. Put it on the table. Put it on the table to cool. Also, when you're done with this, make sure that you soak it in the sink. So now, all you gotta do is set the table and eat. And then this is what you got. So we gotta try. Is everybody gonna try it?
The little boy over there is already eating.
It's good. He's got a thumbs up for him. I haven't tried it, but I already know how good it is.
It's very hot.
Mama, how about you?
It's not as sweet as I thought it was gonna be.
Is it good?
And it's got a bit of a kick to the end,
Is it good?
to the aftertaste. So it's actually kind of nice. Kind of gives you a whole palette of flavor. Get a picture of Mummy's face. Got funny faces going on like crazy as the different flavors hit you.
Got the kickback.
I'm zooming in.
So yeah, this is a little spicy. It's a little bit
It's
spicy.
not ridiculous. It's just there.
Yeah.
But I don't like spice. That's why it's
Yeah.
heavy.
So if you don't like spice, you can kind of dumb it down with a little less. If you use a little less turmeric, and
The turmeric made it sweet.
turmeric has that kind of like weird, like curry kind of flavor.
Oh
to it.
yeah.
So if you simmer it too long, it's gonna that spice is gonna kind of kick in a little bit more. But like I said, my paprika seems to be a little bit spicy as well. Plus, you can add in a little less of the sriracha if you don't really like the spice. If you're really sensitive to spice, kind of maybe keep out the pepper
Like-
as well. But yeah, it worked out pretty well. It's actually not bad. I didn't really have a thought process to what flavor that I wanted, but this actually turned out really nice.
No.
So,
Can I hold the cam?
No.
what?
No.
Hang on. Yeah, you gotta taste it. Let's see the little flavor country going into your mouth there.
Flavor country. Yeah, big chunk.
Big chunk. Ooh, and yeah, there's the.
I had carrot in my mouth.
There you go. So, you don't like carrots?
At least not with curry. I meant stir fry.
Oh, there you go. So you can add in any flavors that you want, any kind of any other flavors that you want to, any vegetables that you want. You can kind of like mix and match and do whatever you want with that, because stir fry is amazing. It's so diverse. But anyways, I'm gonna leave this episode here. So thanks everybody for watching, and until next video, take her easy.
Is it on standby or is it?
We have power editing on our side.
Hello, person, world. My eyes hurt a lot.
Okay.